especially right in front of the poor people.
Uh-huh.
And they were very mean about it, honestly.
What do you mean?
They were like mean because they were like showing it off in front of the poor people.
Oh,
So
like
they
showing
could-
their riches?
Yes, and being
Oh, like
like
flaunty?
yes, flaunting. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
But that was happening, so Paul made them, and they were also preaching wrong things about like Greek philosophies and things,
Oh, really?
because they had a like position there.
Hmm.
So Paul came and lowered them from their position.
What did he do?
He just like went to the priests and people and were like, they cannot have this position because they're not teaching the right things of God.
Mm.
So they got lowered from their position. So they got mad about that. So they, like back then, sometimes, not very, very often, because I don't know where this was. I have no clue where they were at this time. But anywhere at that time, there really wasn't like places where they were like donations and stuff, like for the poor people who don't have food and things.
Right.
So, but I don't know where they were, but apparently they had one of those there around the temple. So those ladies were still could be around and be in the temple. They just weren't allowed to preach or anything anymore. But one day they came back and they still had their fancy clothes on and went over to the station where they had like food for the poor and things. So they went and tried to buy all the food so none of the poor people could have any.
Oh, wow.
But Paul came over and stopped them and said, you cannot do this. Only the poor people shall have this. And no rich and wealthy people may come over here because y'all already have food, you know?
So what book is that in?
Timothy.
Oh, wow.
Timothy 1 and 2.
So this is why your favorite book of the Bible is Timothy? So which is it? 1 or 2 or both?
Both. Because it kind of like, I guess one just...
So
Was
what
it really?
is it about Timothy that you like?
I like that he was confident as a young kid to preach, and as he got older, he just kept doing the same thing. But I think, like just like dogs, if you teach them at a young age, let's say sit, they're going to know it for the rest of their lives, and they're going to get better and better every day. Especially if you do it when they're young, because they'll just keep learning more and more about it and doing it a lot better. So I guess it's the same thing with Timothy, because he kind of just learned at a young age, and he loved it at a young age. So he just kept doing it, and now he's a lot better at it, I guess.
He loved God at a young age?
Yes,
Okay.
kind of what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah.
But so as the days go on, those people just being annoying. So he just stopped them and yada yada. I go in, and when people ask me these kind of questions, I go into a lot of detail.
It's okay. I like it.
But so he stopped them. So this is where he came to another problem, and I'm pretty sure this was like his last problem. This is all the problems that I remember.
Of Timothy?
Yes, I'm pretty sure this is where it was. Where the problem started happening was Timothy 2. I'm pretty sure that's where all the problems started happening.
Okay.
In the temple. This was all in the temple. So as he was about to leave the temple, I'm pretty sure,